Good morning, chat. My name is Penbu. I'm the programming, puzzle gaming, and music making VTuber on Linux, and today we are repairing this thing. It's, oh, where is it? Yes. I can see a little bit that the back, it'll show it better this way. The back is a little bit swollen, and that is because I assume the battery has expanded. And for anyone who is in tech who knows what that means, that is not very good. It means there's some sort of gas buildup in the battery and it could explode. Do I have three phones now? Yes, I've had three phones for a while. Hold on, let me just turn on the BGM here. So this phone I got originally as the tracking phone, and then I have this phone that is doing the hand cam, specifically for the hand cam. Or I got that one specifically for the hand cam, and then I have my normal phone, like my day-to-day phone, so that, well, for day-to-day stuff. So I don't want to be mixing, or I don't want to be using my day-to-day phone and for tracking or whatever, just in case, something happens. It says, with two mostly working phones in the cabinet never use. I mean, you're a web dev of some sort, right? I guess that could be for device testing. Not that I ever do that. Maybe I should. Okay. Let me just double check things here. As you can see over on the left side of screen here, we are following an iFixit guide. I have an iFixit kit. Going that the right way for this here. Yes. And then lithium-ion batteries forbidden for transport above passenger aircraft. Whatever. Yeah, you can't fly these things on planes. So they send you a whole kit. So there's this, and then there's this. 3 boxes in this box here. They also send you a bunch of stickers that should you choose to want to use them. Not sponsored, by the way, I wish, but this was the easiest way to get a repair kit. First time using iFixit, so hopefully I have a good experience here. How much does the kit cost? I think it was around, what was it, like something like 70 Canadian, maybe 60 Canadian, something thereabouts. Not super expensive. And you get to keep all the tools and stuff, so those are reusable. You can get the battery, adjust the battery for cheaper, but I figured I may as well get the whole kit because there are certain tools that I would like to have, but I don't have. Also, not in the kit here, I have a magnetized tray for putting screws in, and then also, actually that's it. So yeah, it says 1 to 3 hours. I don't think it's going to take that long, maybe an hour. We'll see. I see you taped over the shipping label ahead of time. Yes, absolutely. I did that for all the Lego stuff too. Just didn't bring it out. Harbor Freight Special. I'm not sure what that means, but probably not. Okay. So what we need, the Fix-It kit. I do have this. $54.99. Is that the I think this? No, this is Canadian, so it must have been about $55 plus tax. Okay, step 1. This repair guide was authored by the iFixit staff and has been endorsed by Google, but they do have official Google. They do carry official Google batteries, so that's good. I just grabbed mine at the Micro Center checkout line. Follow this guide to remove and replace the worn battery for the Pixel 3, which this is. If your battery is swollen, take appropriate precautions. I didn't actually check what this link is, but I think it's just don't throw it in the garbage. Also, I do have a I do have a what was it? A fire extinguisher with me just in case something happens. I don't expect it to, but you know, precautions. For safety, discharge your battery below 25% before disassembling your phone. This is why we're delayed, because I didn't read this part beforehand, and it was at around 90%. So the way I got it down was with VTube Studio and a vibration app, and that got it down to about 9% in roughly half an hour. So if you ever need to discharge your battery quickly, that's I would recommend doing that. Reduces the risk of a dangerous thermal event if the battery is accidentally damaged during the repair. Yes. Okay, so weak in the back covers adhesive. They do have this eye opener thing, which is basically heating pad, which I had heated just before this, just before going live. And here we have our chicken. I mean the eye opener. Now, this is pretty hot. I think it's still decently hot. So we can apply that to the back like that, and then hopefully it'll. I wonder if I actually do need to. Is this the right way? No, I need it this way. And that way. There we go. Can you discharge through the charge port? Oh, I guess you can. Yeah, because you can set your phone to be a like a power controller and then charge, say, a laptop through it. Yeah, charging another device. I wish I had thought of that, because I think that would be even faster. Stick a resistor in there. The last time I handled resistors, I think, was back in 2010-ish. It's been 15 years. Yeah, I had a computer technology class where we worked with circuits and stuff. Needed to open up the Pine Time charging cable to give it a USB-C port instead of USB-A cable, though. Sounds not so convenient. But yeah, we have the heat and eye opener. So basically what you do is you put this in the microwave for 30 seconds. And then it gets hot. And it stays hot for about 10 minutes. Charging cradle, see. So after this, we're going to be creating a gap in the seam. That's going to be with... Should probably just take out all the tools in the meantime. That is going to be with these things. This is one of the things that I wanted out of this kit, because on occasion I will disassemble my laptop, and that would help a lot if I had these. This is the repair parts. This is the tool. It also comes with these tools. Don't wanna do that. I don't know if it's coming. I mean, you can kind of tell from this reflection here. I have a glass surface on top of the green screen, just so I don't ruin the green screen, but also to have a flat surface. Incidentally, this is the glass front from the dishwasher that I've mentioned before. Is this good now? I think this might be good now. Create a gap in the seam. Okay. So my dad didn't trust the dishwasher, and so we took it apart, and I got the glass out of it. This was a for those of you who haven't heard of this before, this is the countertop dishwasher that I had sometime last year, 2 years ago, and then my apartment said I couldn't have it because it was against the lease, which fair enough, it actually was. I don't think that's a great rule, but there it is. And then so we opened it up. Oh yeah, and then it broke because one of the wires melted inside, and so my dad didn't trust it after that. So we took it apart to see if there was anything salvageable, and turns out he just didn't trust the assembly, so we just took it apart and I took this, and it is sitting in a box disassembled in my parents' basement. Jellicoe, good luck, we'll make it through. Hello, welcome in. And yes, the original composition, Make It Through, was inspired by the dishwasher. Okay, apply a suction cup to the heated bottom. And then, what do we do? Lift the suction cup with a strong, steady force to create a gap. And the other question is, do I really need this if I already have a gap over here? Can I just... might be able to just do that. Because these do have to be strong adhesives so that, all these phones are all water resistant, watertight. So we've got to make sure that... Oh, very careful with that. Got to make sure that all the seams are sealed. Do I need to... Yeah, that's still hot. Maybe I need to apply it again. Does this do anything? So I did hear reports about this not actually working too well. I know I said yesterday that I didn't have a hairdryer as a backup, because apparently people do use hairdryers for heat guns. Heat guns are preferable because hairdryers apparently generate static. But I went to the grocery store today, and on the way I figured I'd drop by the nearby thrift store, so I got myself a hairdryer just in case, and it does heat up, so that's good. Worked for me, but I replied it pretty much immediately. I think for most people, make a USB-C cradle from scratch for Pine Time. Just 2 pogo pins connected directly to USB, 5 volts, maybe a diode or resistor, forget. I feel like I think it'll feel like you've lost me there. I don't know if I know what these devices are. Okay. Is this okay now? Step 2, and we're already having trouble, but I guess this is supposed to be the hardest part. Okay, no, this is correct. I can use another one. Why they have multiple ones, so you can use more than one. Okay, we're getting through. Very good. Lift on the suction cup with strong, steady force to create a gap. Okay, well, we do have a gap. Insert an opening pick into the gap. And then cut through the adhesive. So I want to make sure I don't go too far into here and cut the cable for the fingerprint sensor, although I don't use the fingerprint sensor, so even if that does end up breaking, I don't think it's going to matter too much. Okay. So I want to cut through the adhesive as we have done here. It's very strong adhesive, which understandable considering what it's supposed to be for. The bottom is good. That's good there. And I think we might have to, and around the right corner, leave the pick in the bottom edge to prevent the adhesive from resealing. That'll be over here. Heat the right edge with the eye opener and continue slicing the adhesive with an opening pick. Okay. Hope this is still warm. We're gonna have to leave it there for a while. It's still, yeah, it's still fairly warm. If I need to go reheat it, just gonna take it 30 seconds. Just pop it in the microwave. The other way, if you don't have a microwave, don't want to use the microwave, is you can put it in a pot of boiling water, and then you can heat it up there. But the microwave is faster. I saw in the comments somebody saying, I don't have a microwave because it's bad for your health. Can you just stick it in a frying pan instead? Yeah, the comments shredded the guy. Okay. I don't think it actually says how long you're supposed to heat it for. But I think we're probably good. Just gotta make sure we don't accidentally cut the fingerprint sensor. It'll be up here. Okay. I'm gonna take another one. Slide it across here. That does feel warm. Okay, very good. Yeah, I realize the phone is white, my gloves are white. It's a little bit overexposed, but it's okay, we'll have to make do. Okay. So I wonder how professional repair people do this. Surely they got an easier method. So I think they have some sort of... I've heard they have some sort of hot plate you can just put the phone down on and it'll heat the entire surface. Step 6. Continue heating and slicing through the rest of the phone. Okay. Gotta be careful with this cable here. I don't want to accidentally... I want to hit the top edge. So yeah, back on the... I really want to do that on the lens, camera lens. Hopefully that's not going to be an issue. But yeah, this phone and then this phone here, both were, I got them used on eBay, and then my my day-to-day phone I got new. I think I got it in 2021. Prior to that, I didn't have a smartphone. I just used a flip phone. And I probably could still use a flip phone if I had to. But yeah. Is it time for a new phone yet? No, I don't think so. I think it's still got a few more years in it. Hard to judge over stream, but definitely looks like it could use some more heat. Done this twice now, and somehow putting new adhesive in was even more frustrating. Okay. Yeah, it is starting to feel like it cools down, and maybe it is time to reheat this. But we'll take care of this one first. Or I could just take the what do you call it? The hair dryer, because that'll provide heat instantly. But okay, I am going to go microwave this for another 30 seconds, so I will be back. Sit tight. All right, should probably change the settings on that. The chicken has been reheated, so we can go ahead and reapply. Oh, that is absolutely warm. Yeah, now we wait for a little bit more for that to heat up. Oh, there we go. I can smell the plastic. So you've done this twice now. Somehow putting in new heat adhesive would be more frustrating. So I guess this means you've done you've repaired phones before, or taken out batteries and stuff. How long do I have to wait for this? Okay. I'm gonna say it's probably okay for now. If not, we can add more. Maybe we do need a little bit more heat there. Replace the screen twice on my Pixel 3a XL before I decided it was time for an upgrade. Ah. Okay. Slicing through the adhesive here. But I'd be worried about the camera. I'm gonna apply heat on this side. Thankfully, this is already starting to come off, so probably don't need to heat it up that much. And now we wait again. I think the glass was actually intact both times, still can't be bothered to check. First time was an energetic indoor floor collision. Second time was a consequence of messing up with the adhesive first time. Ah. Yeah, I'm a little bit concerned about the adhesive, because that's something new to me, but I guess we'll find out. The most I've had to deal with in terms of water tightness, I think is the gasket on this watch actually. Oh, this watch. Ironman Triathlon, which apparently is a woman's watch, but I've had it for well, how long has it been now? It's at least a decade, more than that actually. Back when I was in high school, I think I still had it. Okay, I should hopefully have loosened things up a bit more. Oh, and that is warm. Okay. Alright, that is slicing through. I hope I'm not slicing anything else that I'm not supposed to be. Well, the back is coming off. Water resistance wasn't even a concern, I just didn't get it to stick fully on all sides. Yeah, I suppose that would do it. Okay, we now have the back off. As I recall, the fingerprint sensor cable is on this side, so we actually want to lift the left edge back. Yeah. We want to... Did I not turn this off? Whoops. Well, I'm glad nothing happened. All right, we have liftoff. Carefully lift the left edge of the back cover. Do not attempt to remove the back cover. Still attached to the phone by the fingerprint sensor cable. Maximum content. Flip the back cover along its long axis and rest it so that the fingerprint sensor cable is not strained. Okay. I think we want it this way then. And rest it so the fingerprint cover is not strained. So we can do that. And as you can see, I kind of don't want to touch that, but that is pretty swollen. That's not supposed to be sticking up like that. Also remember my patient being powered on at one point during the operation. I don't remember if it was intentional or so why. Yeah. Just remember to turn your stuff off before you do stuff with them. I think at least with this, it's not as bad as if it were a laptop, I think. Because taking the cover off, as at least is not like it doesn't touch any of the electronics. But if you're going to be disconnecting things, you absolutely do want to make sure it's off. I guess verify the screen works before securing it in place, so that's probably a good idea. Okay, next step. Remove the screws. And then we bring out the tools. And also this. So, I realized maybe I should have gone through the steps beforehand. I actually, no, sorry, let me clarify. I went through the steps beforehand. I probably should have gone through them with chat, but with all of you, but we're just gonna keep going. So I have a vague idea of what it is that we need to be doing here. Didn't look too closely, but okay. I don't have the magnetic project map, but I do have the I do have that, which yes, it's hopefully not reflective enough to reflect things that it shouldn't be. Other than the camera's pointed away anyway. Okay, which one do I need? Remove the two 4.1mm long Phillips screws securing the fingerprint connector brackets. That'll be, look at the image here. That back. That'll be, so okay, this one. We have a screwdriver, and then a bunch of bits for the screwdriver, and like so. But I need a Phillips. Which one? There are two. No, there's one Phillips. I think the other one is Torx. This one is the Phillips screw head. Yeah, right there. I'm gonna go ahead and insert this into the screwdriver. And then we can go ahead and unscrew. Is it just the two? I thought it was three. Remove the two, okay, so that'll be this one, and then this one. Okay, I'll put that in here. Being careful not to lose them, and also knowing where they are. Yeah, we'll take that second one. Rancher Kit is probably one of the best purchases I've ever made. I'll have to look that up. So I don't know what that is. Okay. So those are the two screws. Throughout the repair, keep track of which screw and keep track of each screw and make sure it goes back exactly where it came from. During reassembly, be careful not to over tighten these screws or you may damage your display. Yes, okay. So one of the things that the mat, I guess, would be nice for is because it has compartments, so you can put the different screws in the different compartments. Not so with this one because this is only one compartment, but we'll just have to make do. Remove the fingerprint connector brackets. So that'll be this one, I think. We can remove that with this one. We have the spudger to remove it. Use the point of a spudger to slide the fingerprint connector bracket out from under the NFC coil. So what am I looking at here? Make this bigger. I'll probably make it bigger. Oh, no, I don't want that. The thing about responsive images is that even if you make it bigger, it's not going to actually be bigger. And now I can't scroll. Nice. What am I looking at? I'm doing all this navigation with one hand. It's not working. Oh, it's this black thing. Okay. Being very careful to dislodge that or something. Right, it was held together with screws. That makes sense. So now we want to take that out. Do I actually need the spudger? Might be useful to have two spudgers, or which one of these? Okay. Now we have that. I hope I can put that in the right way after once we have to put this back. Remove the fingerprint connector bracket. Okay. Now disconnect the fingerprint connector. This one. We lift it up to pry up and disconnect the fingerprint connector from its sockets. When you disconnect connectors like these, be careful not to dislodge the small surface mounted components surrounding the socket. This is where I kind of wish I had a magnifying glass of some sort. Which I could have gotten from the dollar store, but I don't have one of those. Do I have tweezers? Yes. So the kit did come with a pair of tweezers, metal tweezers it seems. So that is something that we can use. There's also this little pick here. But you wouldn't want to use tweezers on this because it's a very delicate cable. To pry up and disconnect the fingerprint reader. Hold on, I gotta take a better look at this. What am I looking at here? Pry up. There we go. So I guess it just connects like that and that. Put this near the camera. This little bit here. A little bit hard to see on the back screen there, but that's okay. 3 attached press connectors like this one. Carefully align, press down on one side until it clicks into place. Then repeat on the other side. Do not press down in the middle. If the connector is misaligned, pins can bend, causing permanent damage. Which, for the fingerprint sensor, again, I don't use it, so I don't think it's going to be too bad if it does end up getting damaged. Remove the back cover. Yes. Before you install a replacement back cover, be sure to remove all adhesive residue from the phone frame. So we'll probably want to do that now. Use an opening tool to scrape and high concentration isopropyl alcohol to clean the surface. Which they do have an alcohol wipe here. I do have more. I have more alcohol if we need it, but they do have the wipe. How reflective is this? I only want to do that out here. I think I have angles set up correctly that it shouldn't reflect anything, but you can never be too cautious. There's a lot of gunk. We're gonna do this later, but I mean, battery right there is, I don't think it's gonna take that long, so getting out the gunk might actually be the part that takes the longest. This should be fine. I'm gonna move this so I don't accidentally knock it over. Okay. Proving to be a little bit difficult. I wonder if I need to loosen this up a little bit more with some alcohol. But the alcohol is supposed to clean the surface. I don't think it's going to do too much on large pieces like this. Okay, we are making progress though. We are coming up to 50 minutes. I didn't think it would take this long. But the guy did say 1 to 3 hours, so I shouldn't be too surprised. Plus, having to do this for the camera is also slowing things down just a little bit. Just gotta make sure everything's in frame so you can see it. Okay. This Sag is so far so good. Hammer debuff is very real, yes. Not something I had to deal with until last week. And on top of that is the streamer debuff. Although I don't feel like I'm experiencing too much of that right now. Mostly because I don't have to think. I mean, I have to think of what to say, but so far I haven't had too much trouble with that yet. Might take a little longer on stream. Yeah, I don't expect this to take more than 3 hours. It'll probably take enough time to go up to our usual stream time though, which is perfect because then we fill up like 2.5 hours. And about 15 minutes of it will be me scraping off the adhesive here. Okay. I'll scrape it off from here. I suppose I could... Hold on. I'm gonna heat this a little bit just to make it a little bit easier. And now we wait. But yeah, this will be good to have. I don't know where I would use it, except for if any of the other phones break. Because none of my other devices require adhesive melting, I think. So everything else can be taken apart by screws. I think that's coming off just a little bit easier. Only a tiny bit though. Gotta make sure I don't accidentally rip off the cable for the fingerprint sensor. I'll probably use one of the picks actually to pick this off. I'm gonna give that a shot. No, I'll just clean it afterwards. Or not. Well, in the meantime, today I was doing a little bit of piano improv because I was procrastinating on going to the groceries. So yeah, apologies for this being late. Part of it was because I left later than I expected to do. But I was doing piano improv in the meantime, and I came up with 2 new ideas that I kind of want to work on, except I can't yet because tomorrow is something else. Now, I'm in charge of my schedule, so in theory I could just swap it out, but I think it's probably better that we finish one step back first. You want to end up in a state where you have a lot of unfinished personal projects. Schedule my wedding around this. Alright. That would be quite the feat if that were actually true. Because then it means you'd have known months beforehand. I don't make my schedule until the week before. If that. That or you have some sort of shotgun marriage where you just get married the next day. Which actually I heard of a couple who found out that there were tax advantages to being married, and so they just did it. Alright. We're getting there. This does look like a pretty big gunk, piece of gunk here. And it's important to use plastic tools like this one instead of metal tools, because the metal will scratch the surface and you don't want that. Okay. I just get this off my fingers at this point. Okay, I only have one piece off. Gotta find a place to dump this. I have the one of the trays from the Lego stream. Figured I might need it for something. Didn't expect to be using it for trash though, but I suppose it'll do. Okay, well that's one side more or less done. Gonna have to go over this with an alcohol wipe. Still a lot of gunk here, so maybe not done quite yet. There's definitely a lot of gunk in the corner though. Surely there's an easier or more efficient technique to doing this. Can't even see that. All right. Well, as adhesive, it's doing a pretty good job of for its function, what it's meant to do. Supposed to stick on stuff, and it's certainly doing that. Okay. I'm reminded of something I put on, or something I actually left out on the debut stream. If you go to my GitHub page, I have a repo for the debut slides. And if you cross-reference what you see in the repo with what you see in the debut, you'll notice that there's a slide missing. I think I actually commented out one of the slides because it flowed better without it, but I think it was the likes and dislikes. One of the dislikes was manual labor, which is what this is. Well, I suppose to some this would be therapeutic. God, I don't know how I'm supposed to get all this stuff off. I think we just need enough off so that there's a decently flat surface for the new adhesive to stick on. You know, have too much of the old gunk around. I'm gonna heat this one up. I think this has cooled down a little bit, but it heats it up at least a little bit. Then I think we'll probably be okay. It is still fairly warm to the touch, so. But yeah, it's not a battery that looks good. I don't have a link, but I sent it over in the Discords many months back. Somebody made on, I think it was Redbubble, some designs with, or sorry, a pillowcase with a lithium-ion battery design. I don't want one of those. They're quite literal meaning into it's a spicy pillow. No, I have time. I can... Discord. Not already in there. You'll get exposed to stuff like that. Okay. The mass-produced stuff is cool enough, but sewing the design on would rock, yeah. Okay, there's definitely a lot of gunk on this side. Long time ago I did a bit of artistic sewing. I don't know if I've ever the closest I've gotten to sewing, I think, is doing any of the sewing stitches when you finish a knitted piece, or while working on a knitted piece, because I can knit. I learned how to knit back when I was in middle school. I think I was gifted a knitting machine, a plastic one. It wasn't very good, but it also came with a pair of knitting needles and yarn, and it's taught you how to knit a project. I think it was a hat. And so from there I just learned how to knit with the needles, because the machine wasn't doing it. I don't know if I'll do any knitting streams. I don't have any yarn. Also kind of lost my needles, so I have to get new ones. Iris, welcome in. Hello. Good morning. We're just trying to get rid of the adhesive that's stuck to the back of the plate here. We've already taken apart the phone, or at least taken the back off the phone, so we expose this. Oh, don't do that. It's gonna pick up crochet with a friend, someone close to your circles until the travel plans went sour. Yeah, I know how to crochet too. I don't know if I know any of the advanced stuff, but I can make a crocheted piece of fabric. I also don't have a crochet hook, so if I were to do crochet stream, I'd have to get one. However, actually, she hasn't done it in a while. Aggie does knitting streams, except she hasn't ever since she moved to. Well, that's not entirely true. She has once, but it's difficult for her to do knitting streams in new Aggie City, so she hasn't really done it much. She did do a HANDCAM stream earlier this week, painting her nails. If we could give a shout out to Nice Aggie on Twitch, please, and then also send a link over in YouTube. She streams on YouTube once a week. And there may or may not be one on Friday, which I guess is tomorrow, because she's in Old Aggie City right now. Okay, may want to consider heating this up more. The heat for this is slowly dying, but I think there might still be enough to at least help it loosen up. Okay. Probably hasn't done too much, but we can keep going. I think it's been more than 15 minutes, hasn't it? I estimated us to take about 15 minutes on removing the adhesive, but I think it might have been more than that by now. I haven't been timing though. Oh, you know what? Hold on, I forgot something. Give me a bit. Oh, we're good. A view outside my window is engulfed in yellow fog. Yellow is kind of concerning, I think. What is that? Smog? Hopefully not sulfuric acid. But yeah, it could be that. I guess just stay inside for the time being. Might just be sunset. Yeah, it could be a thing too. I can't actually see outside because my this green screen is in the way. But it is around that time. It's what, 9? It's already 9. 9:15 p.m. Sunset and precipitation, yeah. Yellow is it's a bit of an interesting color for that, but I guess if the angle is right. Okay. We're getting there. Well, being able to do that is, I suppose, it's a good sign. But I don't have confidence about sticking new adhesive to this. There's still a lot of the old adhesive here. Doesn't really show up on camera. Yeah, it's black on black. It kind of need the light to be angled differently. I wonder if I can. Yeah, that's still a lot of adhesive there on the other side. You can kind of see it. Alright, that's a big chunk off. It's good. We're gonna get it off on the sides. Metal would help. But as I said earlier, metal will also scratch the surface. We don't want. Glad to get some rain, should cool things down. Always seem to get hot weather on convention weekends. Yeah, it's like the weather knows, right? Yeah, my building has turned on the air conditioner now. So it'll be, oh, I'll be careful about that. It'll be less hot inside now. Guess this counts as adhesive. I'll probably scrape this one off too. This one's a little bit easier. Okay, take that off. Okay, so then the question is, do I need the alcohol wipe for anything else other than taking off adhesive? I don't expect so. We're gonna check the instructions, just in case. I gotta scrape off more of the adhesive here. Fellow two-pipe struggler. I'm not sure what the two-pipe is that you're referring to. Alright. We're getting there. Very slowly but firmly scrape off this piece of adhesive. Maybe I should have done it slowly to begin with. It seems to be much more effective. Two-pipe HVAC, where the building controls whether you have heat or cooling because all your unit gets is one inlet pipe and one outlet pipe. Yes. As opposed to four-pipe, where heat source and heat sink are both available year-round. To be honest, I haven't looked too much into it, but that makes sense. I feel like all the buildings that I've been in, at least for apartment-wise, have been the two-pipe system. But it might be just because they're probably a little bit older. Still a bit left there. Last apartment had a water source heat pump and was pretty nice, but this one is miserable as far as I previously shared. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, maybe I should have just gone slowly to begin with. Well, lesson learned for next time. Hopefully there won't be a next time. Woke up this morning to find my blackout window film had peeled off due to getting so hot. Ooh. That doesn't sound good. Not only is that inconvenient, but also that your apartment is warm enough for that. Update sky clear, dark, and lightning. Ah. Sometimes I try to. There's an app on Android called Delta Camera, where you can capture photos, but the changes in the photos are recorded. It's kind of like long exposure, but not really. But I do try to capture lightning with that sometimes. I don't think my phone can do more than, what was it, like 2 seconds, 10 seconds, long exposure. Which is unfortunate because I would like to be able to do long exposure, especially for astrophotography, but or I guess dark night photography in general. Not that the sky here gets I mean, I suppose it does. Depends on where you are. Sounds vaguely similar to Posey's concept of motion extraction. I wouldn't be surprised if it were somehow related. Yeah, I can't say I'm familiar with the concepts by name. Okay. Where is the point of diminishing returns? Apparently not yet, because I can still get a bunch of this off. Okay. I think we might be getting close to the point of diminishing returns. Gotta be careful with this one. Gotta clean out this corner first. Also make sure not to accidentally stab my hand. I think at this point I was using alcohol with a paper towel, some kind of lightly abrasive rubbing device rather than scraping. Yeah, I think the rest of this is probably ready for that. Get a couple more of the obvious ones. This did come with an alcohol pad, and I don't remember which box it's in. Yeah, just gotta get this one off the corner, and then we'll probably switch to that. But the fact that I can still hear, I mean, I suppose it is the corner that I haven't really cleaned out. Still feeling some resistance, so should be able to scrape out more. No model could frown that hard. Yeah, it's don't know if I've ever showed that off in Inochi Creator. I haven't brought that program out in a while. But yeah, the frowning gets a little bit annoying when I'm doing stuff like this is the automaton karaoke. If the tracking phone isn't angled correctly, it'll think I'm frowning. Okay. One big chunk here that I want to get off, and then we can switch to the alcohol. Camera lost focus. I think it should be okay now. Yeah, there we go. Not that there's anything interesting here anyway. Alright, that's one large piece almost out. It's bad autofocus. Yeah, I haven't, I think the autofocus is still beneficial here. But I also don't know how to turn that off, so. Okay. How are we looking here? There's still some stuff there, but I think we can probably get that off with the alcohol. I remember where it is. I thought it was in this box here, the repair tools. But maybe not. In the box? Not in the box, okay. So what I might have to do is grab some paper towels and a bottle of isopropyl alcohol, and I'll come back. I swear this was in the box. Okay. Yeah, so we're gonna go do that, and I will be right back in a moment. I can find the thing. Okay, I'll be back. All right. Fix that transition. I set it up correctly, and then after, I think it was after some update, it stopped working. Anyway, I have 99% isopropyl alcohol here. Poisonous and flammable. I bought this thinking that higher percent the better for disinfectants, but it's actually not true. You want about 60 or 70% for disinfecting wounds. But it'll be useful for this. You don't really want all that much water. Alright, the camera can't even see this. Probably best not to do that. Oh, actually, this is fine. Okay, so hopefully that doesn't dry out too much. And now we can start. Oh, that looks like it's coming off a little bit better. Yeah, that's definitely adhesive coming off there. I don't want to buy venomous alcohol. For those of you who aren't aware of the difference there, venom is a toxin produced by organic or by an organism. I think. Is that it? I think that's it. While alcohol is poisonous, it's not venomous. And in the same way, the snake venom is venomous, but is venomous a subcategory of poisonous? I'm not actually sure about that. Probably shouldn't be peeling that part off. That's part of the backing layer. Yeah, we're gonna leave that part alone. Yeah, I don't know where the alcohol wipe for this is, because I know there was. I'm pretty sure there was one. I don't know where it is now. Oh, actually, hold up. Where are the tweezers? Where are the tweezers? I'm guessing it probably fell. Oh, look. It was in the box. It certainly falls under toxic, yeah. Yeah, that's probably it. Venom, the substance is a subcategory of poison, but venomousness, the state is not. So yeah, this one is 70% isopropyl alcohol. So I think the 99% for the purposes of getting this off is probably stronger. Okay, trying to refill on alcohol here. So isopropyl alcohol, those of you who remember your chemistry class, is made up of 3 carbons, 3 carbons in a row, and the OH group, that was called hydroxyl group. All right. Anyway, the OH group, which makes it an alcohol, is in the middle. In the middle of the 3, which is why it's called isopropyl. Propyl being 3 carbons, and the iso meaning the middle. Well, I don't know if that's what iso means, but iso means same, right? Something like that. Okay. We're nearing cleanliness for this one. Isopropanol is the same makeup as propanol but shaped differently. Yes. Propanol, or otherwise known as propyl alcohol, isopropanol, or isopropyl alcohol, is a type of propanol. If I remember my high school chemistry correctly. Propan-2-ol specifically. But you also propan-1-ol? I don't think you get propan-3-ol because you always put it on the lowest number, if I recall correctly. Any of the mods are on Twitch. Alright, there's a little bit of gum left here. Otherwise, almost there. Thank you. Okay. Is that worth trying to get off? Is that even anything to get off? I'm gonna use this now. The only trouble with 99% alcohol is that the smell is stronger. The fumes are stronger. You can't be bringing that stuff in too much. Was restricted anyway. Yes, just was. I actually don't know what that looks like on stream if they're restricted. Okay, that's probably good enough. Don't need to get it all clean, I think. Just enough that the new adhesive will stick properly. Didn't show up at all, okay. Good to know. So I think we spent about 45 minutes on this. Just getting the adhesive off. Good use of our time. Takes as long as it takes. Okay. Still feels a tiny bit sticky, but I think this is probably good enough for what we need. Like I said, I don't think we need to get all of the adhesive off, just mostly enough that the other stuff can stick. Lucho, welcome in. I missed your message earlier. Hope you were still here. But yeah, we have the back taken off the Google Pixel, and now we've just finished taking off the adhesive after about an hour. It's all getting stuck back together anyway, exactly. The question is, how well does it stick? And that's because it's important where it sticks too. If it sticks to the old adhesive, and the old adhesive isn't sticking very well to the surface you actually want to stick, then you have a bad seal. Gonna wipe off some of the other stuff here. And this is why I have a glass surface instead of doing this directly on the green screen. I wonder what I would have used if I didn't have this one. Okay. We'll add a little bit more alcohol here. Just to clean our surface. That looks nice and clean. Wipe it off. I call that close enough. Okay, and finally move on. Give us a chance to air out a little bit. If you're reusing the back cover, be sure to clean off any adhesive, apply new back cover adhesive. I hope it comes with adhesive, because oh wait a minute, hold up. I didn't actually check what's in here. If it comes with a new back cover, then I guess we didn't need to do all that, but it probably doesn't. It has... I don't know what we'd need this for, but... And then we have the actual battery. And then we have what I assume to be the adhesive. We'll deal with that later. Follow this guide to correctly apply new back cover adhesive. We're gonna deal with that one later. Remove the screws. As you recall, we do have screws here from last time, or from last step. Just gotta make sure that they're different. Looking at, we have the right tool here. We're looking at one. Where are we? One screw here. The screw. This one. A lot of screws here. Or is it this one? I think it's this one. And this one. And this one on down here. Just gonna double check that. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yep. Okay, that works out. Remove the 5 Phillips screws securing the wireless charging coil. Oh no, these are all different sizes. Okay. What size was the one up here? These were 4.1 millimeters. And none of them are 4.1s. Great. Okay, we're just gonna have to be careful then. Alright. Now watch this. That goes here. On the left. I'm gonna do this from left to right. This is where the project map would have been helpful, because then you just place them in the separate sub-containers. It's 2, and then this one. Access, welcome in. We are removing the screws from this Pixel 3, very carefully placing the screws in places where we would know what order they're in, because apparently they're all different sizes. Yeah, we're replacing this phone battery here, which you might be able to tell is a little bit swollen. Swollen batteries are not good, unless you want to fire. Real hands reveal. Yeah, we had this last week. But yes. Last week, if for those of you who weren't here, we did a Lego stream where we built custom models designed by our very own the 0x539. Fingers and wrists, yeah. Complete with sleeves here. The immersion. How old is the phone? It's a Google Pixel 3, however old that is. I got the secondhand off eBay, so I don't know when specifically it was manufactured, but it runs, I think it runs Android 12, so it runs a newer OS than my day-to-day phone, which I think is stuck on Android 11. Okay, so those are the 5 screws here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then the 2 from earlier. Just gotta make, kind of hope that we won't need any more screws, but maybe. Remove the charging coil. Lift up and remove the wireless charging coil. Go ahead and do that. It has it oriented this way. So that's the part that should be removable. Okay. And there we go. That is the charging coil removed. Set that aside. And yeah, I don't know if it's supposed to feel like that. Well, it's best not to puncture that, because that's how you get a fire. Disconnect the battery cable. That is this one. This one. Use the point of a spudger to pry up and disconnect the battery press connector from its socket near the right edge of the phone. I'm gonna use this one. That's too thick. Okay, that is off. Peel the black tape away from the battery. I hope that's something we can put back on. Whenever you use the spudger near the battery, be careful not to puncture the battery. Because yes, it does actually... I don't like that feel. Slide the point of the spudger in the crevice underneath the black tape, so it'll be this one over here. Bridging across the battery and the motherboard, slide the spudger along their crevice to pry up the tape from the battery side. And then carefully peel the tape from the battery and fold it out of the way. The tape acts as a cooling pad for the motherboard and the battery. It'll still work if it's torn. Let's try not to tear this. Yeah, I'm being very careful here. I want to try to pry this up from this side. Again, trying not to puncture the battery. Okay, it's a little bit torn. Up and out of the way. Disconnect the buttons connector. Why didn't you have me do that before? That'll be this one over here. And that is off. Use the point of a spudger, or you did that. Loosen the pull tab. That's this one over here. Insert the point of a spudger underneath the black battery pull tab on the left edge of the phone. Slide the spudger upwards along the edge to loosen the pull tab from the battery. The battery is held in place with 3 separate stretch adhesive strips which are connected to a single black pull tab. You can try to pull all 3 strips out together, but it's easier to cut the black pull tab where it is notched and pull each strip out individually. Oh, let's see if we can get it all in the one first. I don't like cutting things where I don't need to. I go in from this side, okay. Yeah, alright. We're going from this side then. Once again, being careful not to oh, that side's not supposed to come up. Don't do that. If this side comes up, then I have nothing to pull it out from. And in that case, what do we do? Very, very carefully here. Once again, if we do have a fire on our hands, because puncturing the battery can result in a fire, I do have a fire extinguisher within arm's reach. No, don't come off like that. I need you to stay in there so that I can pull it off. And they're all coming off. And that is We might actually have a stuck battery. Because I think the heat might have melted the pull tabs. Is that? I have a feeling if I try to do more, if I try to pull these off more, they're just gonna snap off. This one's coming off already. But these feel like they're stretching too much. I might have to try to go in from another way. What am I taking off? That's okay. Is it this thing? Am I supposed to take off the battery from within this? I don't think so. Yeah, so I think. One moment. Okay. I think it should be fine to take it off from this side here. Gotta be very careful about this. I'll make use of the things here. Be careful not to bend it too much. No, come back, come back. Don't stick on that again. Very, very carefully here. I hope this is what I'm actually supposed to be taking out. But hold up. Yeah, I think this does. Kind of hard to see there. I think this does go on the left side of the edge here. So I think what I'm doing is correct. We can take a look at what this is. Remove the pull tab. Oh, you're actually supposed to remove them? Pull on a black pull tab at a shallow angle with steady force. When the adhesive grows long, roll it around some tweezer tips and continue pulling. A flux cable runs underneath the battery. Don't pry near the cable or you might damage it. Which I'm actually supposed to... Alright, give me a bit. I need a set of scissors. One moment. Alright. It is useful to have a Swiss Army knife. This one is by Victorinox. Which was one of the two, I think possibly the original Swiss Army knife maker. And then the other one being Wegner. And then they bought out Wegner, so now they're the only one. Okay. We want to pull this out. Pull on the black tab at a shallow angle with steady force. And it just breaks. Oh, it said to roll these up. Roll it around tweezers, but it's fine. And that broke too. And also that broke, alright. Definitely not, guys, are welcome in. Spicy pillow, yes. That is correct. You can see it is very slightly swollen. It's not what you want for a battery. Right, we're just gonna try to pry this. Be very careful. You are indeed geyser, yes. You're being very careful not to puncture the battery here. I don't know how much this can flex. Yeah, we'll take another wedge here. Take another wedge on the other side, and it did say there was it was attached by a flex cable runs underneath the battery. Don't pry near the cable, you may damage it. I don't know where that is though. That's part of the problem. Also fill a plastic dropper or syringe with high concentration isopropyl alcohol and apply a few drops of alcohol under the left edge of the battery. That's what okay. So it's the adhesive that keeps it stuck on here. Do I want to do that? Because we do have the alcohol from earlier. 99%. So I guess that's what the pull tabs are supposed to be for. They're to try to get rid of the adhesive that's underneath. I think we might have to because it did break. Okay. Where's the syringe? So there's a pipette here. Now I just need a container to put this in so I can. I'm not putting the tip of that into the bottle. That's sanitary. There's a little bit of leftover oil in here, but I think it's fine. Okay. Yeah, pour that in. We don't need a whole lot. That's actually probably too much. Keep that away from the eye opener. There's now cool enough to the touch. Still a little bit warm. Okay. So now we have a little bit of alcohol in there. We can use this to, so hopefully weaken the adhesive on the left side. A couple of drops in there. Let that sit for a bit. Don't want to put too much. Now, alcohol is fairly safe to do to put into electronics like this because it's not as it's not conductive like tap water is. You don't want to be pouring tap water onto your electronics because the impurities inside your tap water can short circuits the electronics. Distilled water, I think, might be okay. Don't quote me on that though. It's much better at least than tap water. But alcohol is fine. It dries very quickly. It's non-conductive. Something. It looks... I don't know if it might just be me, but I think it is lifting slightly. Let's wait a little bit more for it to kick in. But I think we're probably mostly good here. I definitely saw that move. One of distilled deionized is okay. Deionized I think definitely is. No, actually, hold on. Yeah, it should be, right? Because if you're thinking about electrons as charge carriers, then deionized would mean that... something like that. You wouldn't have electrons just floating around. Apparently deionized and demineralized are synonymous in the context of purified water. Interesting. I think that I suppose, yeah, I was gonna say it would be necessary for it to be demineralized before you can call it deionized, but I don't think that's actually true. It certainly helps though. Was this supposed to come off? I'm not sure about that. What was the battery? It's supposed to look like... oh yeah, no, that is supposed to come off then. So this is where the cable is. We just have to make sure we don't touch that. I'm gonna add a couple more drops of alcohol just below that. So we can loosen it a bit more. And just wait a little bit more. Oh, whoops. Well, that definitely feels looser. So what are we looking at here? So you have 3 strips of adhesive there, and I think what was supposed to happen was the black pull tabs were supposed to take the adhesive off. And there we go. Being careful not to deform the battery. I want to scrape that off a little bit. Might be better to just cut that. Cut that adhesive off. I have scissors. You can just use the scissors. Yeah, I don't think it's supposed to bulge like that. Anyway. I need to find a way to dispose of that. Do not put those in the garbage. It's supposed to go into your local recycling center for hazardous waste. Okay, remove the battery. Carefully pull and remove the small foam buffer block from the left edge of the battery and transfer it to your replacement part. So we actually do still need this little bit here. And we're going to need to transfer that to the new battery. To install a replacement battery, lace some double-sided tape on the phone's battery well. If you're using Tesla tape to reattach components, follow this guide. You can stretch, release adhesive, follow this guide. I have no idea which ones they gave me. But I guess actually we should get rid of this leftover adhesive first. I'm not using this one. I'm gonna... I need to clean this. I hope we won't need this later. If we do, I guess I'm just going to clean it more. Where was the part that I used earlier? This one. It's out, yes. About time. But it worked. I'll scrape off the remaining adhesive, being careful not to touch the cable, because this was supposed to be what you got pulled out. Got pulled out with the black tabs, but they broke before it's finished. Now I just have to clean it up manually. I'm gonna clean this off with a bit of isopropyl alcohol. Not sure what it is about alcohol that makes it good at getting rid of the sticky stuff. I'm guessing it's probably the very polar nature of the OH group. Let me just take this off. Okay. And then we'll take out our alcohol again. Some of different parts. Turns out we did need this after all. Let me make sure the that thermal tape there is not in the way. Okay, it's coming off. That's about what we're looking for. All right, the battery is off. The surface has been cleaned. Temporarily reconnect. Oh, actually, hold on. We gotta get the battery out first. Genuine Google Pixel parts. In a anti-static bag. Okay. I do need to cut this open. I pull out the Swiss knife again. Actually, I don't think I pulled it out the first time. Wait a minute. I don't need to do that. There's a little notch over here, and I can just use that to tear it open. I may have been imagining this this notch. Never mind. Probably gonna be better if I just cut it anyway. It means I can reuse the bag. I'll leave that attached. Okay. Didn't even cut it properly. Okay, so we have the new battery now. That looks a lot flatter compared to the other battery, which so much more swollen. This is what it's supposed to look like. But we do need to transfer this this little tab here. Wait, how do we do that? Carefully pull and remove the small foam buffer block from the left edge of the battery and transfer it to the replacement parts. For this side, if it begins to tear, use the flat end of a spudger to gently pry it off the battery. And it will end up tearing, so we're gonna... Oh, whoops. Yeah, that's a tear. It's got a tear on both sides now. I need to be very careful about this, so I'm just gonna do that off the camera. Do I understand how this goes? No, apparently not. Okay. I'm not doing this properly. It's not the foam part that I need to get off. There's a small... I don't know if we can see this properly on camera. There's a small bit in between the foam and the battery. So that's the part that we need to get off. Not the foam part. I can probably just push this off. That's what we're looking for. Want this part off. Okay. I'm gonna put the battery aside, never touch it again until I have to recycle it. And then we can put that on the battery over here. And that should stick on fairly nicely. You'd think the phone assembly would be enough to mostly hold it in place. Yeah. I don't know what's up with this one. Because I know Actually, hold on. Can I show detour? Segway, whatever you want to call it. Where did I put it? So I mentioned earlier in the stream that I had a flip phone until 2021. Samsung. And you open this. I don't remember where to open it from. In the back. This is so much easier. Alright, it's just held together with clips. And the battery is right there. You just literally just take it out. And then you put it back together. And that's it. Asher's welcome in until 2021, yeah. And I think if I weren't in the circumstances I am right now, I probably could still... Actually, no, I would be comfortable having just a... No, I can't even say that. There are increasingly things that I use that require a smartphone because they require data on the go. Well, they're all technically optional, so I don't need them. And Galaxy S5 was peak on at least this front. Yeah, I think is this the phone that has this camera? This is a Samsung Galaxy of some sort. Removable battery, waterproof headphone jack, micro SD. Actually, yeah, I don't know how I would open this one, so maybe it isn't one of those. Okay, so what are we looking at? Remove the battery. Carefully pull the... Okay, we got that one. Lay some double-sided tape on the phone's battery wall if you're using adhesive tape. So we have the same... I think this is the same stretch tape that we had before. So this looks a little bit familiar, right? Because that's what we had over here. Except I think it's this way. Yeah, I think it lays down this way. They quite literally don't make them like they used to. They refuse to do so, yeah. No thanks to Apple. Or, how does that phrase go? Yeah, I think Apple has had a big part in that, unfortunately. Temporarily reconnect the battery's connectors to the motherboard socket. This ensures the battery is properly positioned. That'd be, I think that would be this one over here. Okay, but I don't know which adhesive this is. They didn't tell me what it was, I think. Or maybe they did. Maybe it's in the... no, it didn't say here. Hey, what else is in here? Something rattling. Use this dropper to... the camera can't... Oh, actually, hold on. Use this dropper to apply 90% isopropyl alcohol to soften tough adhesive holding down screens and batteries. IPA is not included. Use only IPA. Dropper is not compatible with iFixit adhesive remover, so I guess they have a separate product for that. Okay, so we gotta figure out which adhesives we have here. Pre-cut adhesive sheet. I don't think this is it, because that does not look like what we have. So it's probably this one. Eric's made a no end how several brands went from mocking Apple for that to following suit within the space of a year. Yeah, that's what happens when sales happen. Hard to push back on Apple, but I think I mentioned this before. I had the opportunity to get an iPhone for tracking, because because iPhones are objectively the best in terms of tracking hardware for VTubing, and I declined it out of principle, even if it was used. I've already removed the pixels back cover and set aside. Detailed strains here. Remove adhesive residue. We did that. I don't want it for the back cover. I want it for the battery. Okay, we'll need that later. That said, coffee filters. Align the adhesive strips. The stretch release adhesive strips will be applied to the rear of the replacement battery and may need to be cut to length. I think this is already cut to length because it does fit. It does fit properly. Lay the stretch release adhesive strips next to your replacement battery, aligning the pull tab slightly above the top edge of the battery. So the battery itself is here, and we said temporarily, best not to bend that, temporarily connect, just to make sure we have proper alignment here. And then make sure we can still get this out. Very carefully. This is a very small push connector, so it's a little bit difficult to align. What does this look like? That small thing. I hope I haven't bent that, but I think we're okay. I may have to do it this way so I can see it better. It's not even a line. It doesn't look like it aligns. How does this fit? Okay. It's starting to fit a little bit better. It's only a temporary reconnection because we're gonna have to do this again. Oh, it needs to be over that on that side. Okay. Hello? Hold up. The camera's not going to be able to see this, but I need to see it. It would be something like this, I think. I felt something. So if this aligns, you're supposed to be able to just push it down, but I don't think it's aligned. We're getting there, I just don't know which direction is correct. Okay, it needs to be moved forward a little bit. I know the camera can't see this, but I need to see this. To move forward, you know what, I think I kind of don't want to take this off now. Now it's seemingly mostly on. That's staying in place, except it's only supposed to be a temporary connection. Can I get away with making it not temporary? So device powered off, inspect the battery well on your device. Avoid applying adhesive with the ribbon cables. Avoid applying adhesive too close to sensitive components. It's fine. Using a pen, mark a line on the stretch release adhesive just slightly above the bottom edge of the battery. Okay, we're gonna have to take this off. And then go through that whole exercise afterwards. How did I take this off earlier? There we go. Gently, yes. The thing with electronics is that if you're trying to force something, you're doing it wrong most of the time. Okay, this way, and then we need the adhesives, which are over here. Just slightly above the bottom edge of the battery. Wait, why that way? What's this trying to do? Remove the small sections of blue film covering the flat ends of the adhesive strips. Don't remove the entire blue liner. I'm confused. Do we need to keep the entire thing? Because this comes off, right? Remove the small sections of blue film covering the flat ends of the adhesive strips. So that would be this one here. Don't remove the entire blue liner, just small parts covering the pull tabs. And then gently press them into place. So we're putting this on the battery. That makes things a little bit easier. Place the battery face down on a flat surface. Starting at the cut end of the adhesive strips, peel off the large blue film covering the strips. Sometimes a defect that prevents peeling off, discarded and replaced. Well, I hope this doesn't happen because I don't think we have any extra ones. In the meantime, you can temporarily reassemble your phone with a bit of double-sided tape to hold the battery. I do have some of that, so if necessary, we can do that. But at the bottom of the phone... No, okay, so I think... we saw the adhesives this way earlier. So I think that's what makes sense here. We put the adhesives on this way. And we line up so that's at the bottom, because these are already correctly sized for the phone. So I think we can skip a lot of those steps here. Cut the stretch release adhesive tabs to the marked line. Remove the excess section of adhesive. That's fine. I think this is actually a little bit different. Okay, so we want it to be this way, which means we want to actually be pulling from this side. Or not? Huh? Or yes, okay. I'm a little bit confused. I don't think I see what this is supposed to be doing. Carefully align the exposed portion of the adhesive strips along the edge of the front of the battery. And then press them gently into place. Because once they adhere the battery, they can't be removed or realigned, so I gotta make sure we do this properly. Peel off the large blue film covering the strips. So we expose a little bit so that we can align it to the edge of the battery here. It's not supposed to look like that. I hope that's not going to be an issue. Did I do that? I hope not. Anyway, I think the idea here is you stretch it, or you put it along here so that the edge is there. Very carefully. And then I don't think this is what it says to do, but we're gonna do it this way anyway. Because the point here is to get the that is aligned. The point here is to get the adhesive on the battery and then onto the surface there. So, and since these are all correctly sized, this should be okay. Now what? Blue film sometimes has a defect. It's coming off, so that's fine. Gently roll the adhesive strips over the bottom edge of the battery towards the back. You know what? I think we're actually supposed to have this at this edge here. It's fine. We can't take it off anyway, so it's fine. Carefully peel away the remaining piece of film, fully exposing the adhesive strips. Set the battery lightly in place in the device, and plug in the battery connector temporarily to ensure the cable reaches the socket. Disconnect the battery before resuming assembly. Okay. To install a replacement battery, we have that. Temporarily reconnect the battery's connector. Peel away any tape liners to expose the adhesive. Lay the battery on the adhesive and press firmly. Disconnect the battery connector from the motherboard and socket and resume reassembly. Okay. So I think I should have cut this. It said to cut it. I didn't cut it. Handling battery feels like messing with a ticking bomb. Well, I mean, handling this battery definitely does. Okay, we're gonna We're gonna cut this to size. Very carefully. Don't want to accidentally puncture this one. I don't know where that went. I don't care at the moment. That's a little bit better. Mostly care that this edge down here doesn't have a whole ton of blue stuff on it. So that we can... I think I need to cut this part off too. Being very careful not to cut off the cable. Close enough. That part's probably fine. Yeah, so as long as you position it this way. Once again, we're going to struggle with trying to connect this. Part of the problem, I think, is the board flexes a little bit underneath here, so it's hard to say. I'm gonna close this before it actually happens. It's hard to say whether it's actually on correctly. Or like positioned correctly. Oh, is that it? Nope. And you just need to push harder, or if it's just not positioned properly. How long did I struggle with this last time? 5 minutes? Felt like 5 minutes. But I did get it last time, so it is possible. I think that's it. Then we're gonna have to do this a third time. But now we can actually take this off. Very carefully position it. Okay, now we press firmly on it, just to make sure the adhesive sticks. I was hoping I didn't forget anything. Hold up. Am I forgetting something? No, because this connects down here, I think. Oh. Yeah, that connects there. That wasn't part of the battery. And the battery connector is over here. And we have this tape here, which we okay, I'm gonna try to pry that out. Wiggle it out just a little bit. You need to stay out of the way while I put the battery in. Okay. Now we can reconnect the tape. It's still adhesive enough. Doesn't look great, but there it is. And then okay, hold on. Do I actually need to disconnect this? Oh, you know what? There was supposed to be this. Oh, no, that goes on top here. I don't think we have new adhesive for, so I'm going to assume that we don't need it. Because we only have this adhesive here. And I don't think I have the other one. So I'm going to assume we don't need the one that was on here. So we remove the battery, temporarily reconnect it, peel away the tape liners to expose the adhesive, lay the battery down on the adhesive, press firmly. It says to disconnect the battery reassembly, but then where's the rest of it? How are you supposed to remove this when the next step is to reattach? Actually, no, this makes sense. Because we need to reattach all the other stuff first. Because you don't want the battery connected when you do. Why wasn't this the first thing we removed then in that case? Peel away the blue. Connect the fingerprint sensor cable. Use the tweezers, fingers to place the bracket over the fingerprints. And we screw the stuff into place. Peel away the remaining. Something feels wrong about this. It feels like this is missing steps. But okay, going in reverse then, because I assume it's important that the battery is disconnected when we remove this for whatever reason. So I guess it makes sense to take this off, and then we're going to struggle again for a third time. But we're going to put this on first. If I can even try to do that. Why are these so small? I mean, it's obvious why they're small, but man. I'll have to do this a little bit on the laptop, but the components are a lot bigger. So they're a lot easier to handle. Okay. That one goes in. And then we can put the battery one back on. Should have plugged this in first. It's not even plugged in. Yeah, I'm not sure why I gave it in that order. Why we didn't remove this before the battery. Or before the tape or something. I think it was a tape. But anyway, it was this we put back on, and then we put the battery back on. And now that we properly lined it, this actually fits, or is easy to fit on. Okay. Is it the screws next? What's this next? Because I assume the adhesive is supposed to be after everything is back in place. This doesn't make sense otherwise. So apart from the fingerprint sensor cable, because that's that. We do need to put this back on first. continue with your repair. I mean, is there a separate guide for putting stuff back together? Is that it? You know, back here. I don't think I need the, I don't think I need a guide to say, like to put things back together, but it would be good to, if there are instructions here. Okay, I guess not. We're just gonna have to put this back in reverse order. I mean, that's pretty much what it would say anyway. Put things back in reverse order. Alright, so we put this into place here. I don't think there was anything else we need to connect. We just need to make sure that the screws, which are in order, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, something like that. So, screw 1, here we go. I'm being careful not to over tighten. Screw 2. Although really what you're supposed to do when doing these screws is to screw in the opposite corners and opposite ends first, so that your it's all evenly tightened, or rather, it's less prone to shifting, but it's fine. Like it's evenly placed or whatever it is. That's yeah. I understand the theory. I just can't articulate it. Okay, there we go. There we go. Almost done. Yes, almost done. But earlier we had some trouble with adhesive, so hopefully we don't with this one. This is a very small screw. Hold on. How do you work with screws these small? Alright, this one goes... Actually, I don't know where this one goes. Over here. I could look in the instructions. But I do remember it being... I'm gonna go look at the instructions. That doesn't seem to be going anywhere. Remove the screws. It's over here. Magnets mostly and tweezers, yeah. I do have tweezers. They gave me some tweezers. I haven't used it. Okay, what was that? What was I hope I didn't damage anything. I think this is fine. That might be the CPU. You know what? It's okay. If it doesn't turn on, then it doesn't turn on. If it starts a fire, I have a fire extinguisher. And then And then we do the adhesive. Not this one. Don't you gotta charge it first? No. No, that comes later. Or at least, if you do, I was not aware that you should. But however, 539 here did say that we should put this back together, and then actually I wonder if this will start without the fingerprint sensor. I hope it does. We can just make sure that it actually does turn on. Which it currently isn't. But I wonder if it needs the fingerprint sensor. Okay. We're gonna go ahead and do I have a cable? One moment. I need to find a cable. Yeah, I gotta make sure the battery is properly inserted before we put on the adhesive, because otherwise we have to go through that whole ordeal again, and I don't have extra adhesive. There's my extra cable. This thing's at 9%. But if we add just a little bit of extra charge, it should be fine. Okay, that should be connected. I think I felt a vibration. I could be feeling things. But that does look like a battery symbol. So I'll just let this charge for a little bit. Turn it on. Actually, hold on. No. This battery was at 9%. I don't know what this is at. So I think we might have to let it charge for a little bit. Okay, so in that case, we wait. Yeah, I think this is a little bit. This is about as complicated as I expected it to be. For those of you who weren't at the start of the stream here, I've taken apart laptops before, but never a phone like this. So this is my first time taking apart a smartphone. And it's about as annoying as I'd expect it to be, particularly with the adhesive. And but I don't know why I didn't expect the parts to be this small to handle, but there they are. Okay, hold on. Do I have any faster charging available? Yes, I do. I'm gonna disconnect this. Good old power banks. I didn't think I'd use this so much, but it's come in handy. %. Okay, 0%. I gotta give that a little bit more time to charge. We'll charge it to about 5 or 10%, if it can go that quickly. I'm not sure it can though. But in the meantime, we can look at what's next. How do we put this thing back on? Connect the fingerprint sensor cable, and then you have to put in the bracket afterwards. So we can't put that in right away. So we put in the adhesive. Prepare the replacement adhesive. So this goes in this way. Does it matter which way it is? It has it this way, okay. Yeah, and be very careful to make sure it's aligned because otherwise we won't be able to take it off. Use the rear camera and corners to properly align the adhesive. Right, because the camera, gotta make sure that the camera doesn't get covered. And secure the adhesive to the frame. Sure, peel away the outer plastic lining. Connect the fingerprint sensor cable, because otherwise you can't connect it. Ah, right, yeah. Use the tweezers, so we can finally use the tweezers. Oh, that's, I see. Place the bracket over the fingerprint sensor cable. And then put the 2 screws in. And then peel away the remaining plastic lining to expose the back cover side of the adhesive. Okay. Secure the back cover of the frame. Lower the back onto the frame. Press down all the edges. This seems to be fairly simple. To help the adhesive bond more securely, heat the perimeter of the back cover, then place the phone face down under a heavy stack of books for 30 minutes. Luckily, I actually do have books. Heat the perimeter of the back cover. Well, I mean, we do have the eye opener, but that's only going to heat single parts. Do you want to pull out the hair dryer? I don't think so. I think we're just gonna pop the iFixit or the eye opener for in the microwave for another 30 seconds. I don't want to heat it too much. So I don't want the adhesive to... no. I think that makes sense because you want to heat it so that it bonds more easily, and then instead of removing it, you just leave it there. Okay. That makes sense. So I'd rather not pull out the hair dryer if I don't need to. And then remove the residue from the back cover. We did that already. Don't use isopropyl alcohol near the rear camera bracket as it will damage the adhesive and its foam. Rear camera bracket. Like here? Doesn't even have foam though. You know what I didn't do? I didn't take away the adhesive from this side. We might have to do that. Let's check this out though. 6%. That's enough to turn this on. Alive. Okay. Seems to be holding a charge here. It is 11 o'clock. I'm gonna turn that off now. But I think so far the installation has been successful. I just gotta hope the rest of it is successful too. Okay. So now before we apply the adhesive, we need to scrape this off first. So more adhesive scraping. And as we learned last time, slow but firm. And I think it said we don't want to use alcohol on this side too much. So we're just going to scrape. Well, thankfully there's not a whole lot here. So we're going to get by with just scraping, I think. I'll start off this side here. Actually, this one might just need a paper towel instead. This one needs more scraping. That's it's coming off. And then we can pull out the paper towel again, the alcohol. Just run along the edge. I suppose they did say this was optional, but it will give a better bond if we clean it. Be careful not to touch the camera too much. That should be good. Okay, now I'll put the adhesive on. I take this, take the bottom off in steps. I think we'll take the bottom off for the camera first. Being very careful. I'm gonna do this a little bit less in frame so I can actually see it. That is over a screw, but I do have to make sure it's rotated correctly. that aligned? I think that's aligned. Kind of hard to tell on camera, but I think that's aligned. That was almost aligned. Okay. So I think that's good. And in which case we can now move this off. I do believe that does align. I think. Well, it's close enough anyway, I think. If it isn't, well, who needs the back cover anyway? It's not like I'm going to be moving this around. Just going to stay on my desk. That's not good. I kind of need that to stay in place. Okay, hold on. What does it say next? Apply the adhesive and then secure the adhesive to the frame. Peel away the outer plastic lining. So the blue parts. Okay. Gotta fix this part here because that came off and that needs to stay on. Or not. It's probably fine. Now, apparently that is not on the frame, which is bad. It'll be very hard to readjust this if I don't get this now. I might already be stuck. Uh-huh. Well, I don't think there's anything we can do about that now. It's kind of stuck. It's a little bit off. It's probably gonna be okay. Like I said, if it's just the back, it's fine. It's not like I'm taking this anywhere anyway. Connect the fingerprint sensor cable. So we had that. That would be this one over here. We need to connect it on this side. I don't know, the camera can't really see that. Kind of hard to do that while still keeping the little bits of tape or covering on. Can't have that being exposed just yet. Oh, is this it? Is this it? Not quite. I heard a click. I think this is it. This is the most annoying part, yes. Okay, I think that's on. And then now we can install the bracket, because we still need to do that. But unlike earlier, a little bit harder to see now. Can't even prop this into place. I know I can do this. Okay, well that's the cable there. Okay, now we can take this, and I don't remember which, I think it was in this way. Slide that into place like so. So the idea here is that the bracket gets screwed into place, and this little bit keeps the cable on. Okay, so both of these screws are the same, so it doesn't matter which one I put on first or where. It goes here. Don't lose the screw. Come on. I guess this is where the tweezers would help. This is so small. Okay. So screw that in lightly so that the thing's aligned, and then I can screw them on more tightly afterwards. All right. A little bit more. Being careful not to over tighten, that should be good. And then I think the next part is we put the adhesive on. Peel away the plastic lining, secure the back cover of the frame. Before we do that, I'm going to go heat this up again. So give me another minute or so, and we'll come back to this in a bit. Sit tight. Alright, we are back, and to overuse the joke once more, I reheated the chicken. Okay. So now we can, I guess it's already started peeling away. But we can peel this away. And that does not look like a good seal on that side. Doesn't matter too much though. At least this is my phone and not someone else's. Okay, so then we can lower the back onto the frame. Be very careful because once it sticks, it sticks. Secure the back cover to the frame. Okay. That does not align. Do I care that it's not aligned? Maybe a little bit, because I think the back might pop off otherwise. I don't want it to do that. This is why you look before you press. But I think that's otherwise probably okay. It feels a lot flatter. Feels more like what it's supposed to feel like. Not bulging like what it used to. But okay. We are going to go ahead and heat that. Starting with the long edges. Will take about a minute. Maybe it should have been the short edges, I'm not sure. Although if we go from, if we go in reverse order, it should have been this edge over here. I haven't been timing, but I think that's probably enough. We don't need it to. We don't need to heat it up too much. We can always go for another round as well. Although, am I supposed to heat this up and then put it immediately under a stack of books? Maybe. But while we're here, I think we're pretty much done here. I hope this was all informative and entertaining, or I don't know what else it... Yeah, informative and entertaining, I think, is the two main goals here. I don't expect another HANDCAM stream too soon. I do have ideas for other ones, and especially with this kind of setup. It'd be a waste not to use it, but not too soon. We had 2 weeks in a row already. Okay, next one. Although I know I mentioned in the 1 year, 6 months, one of the special streams that I would consider doing a knife sharpening stream. I still kind of want to do that, but the problem is I need more knives to sharpen, and I don't have enough. Also, I think I'm going to need a different setup for that too. Because I can't do it here. I don't want to do wet stuff over a green screen. Okay, now the other side. Not enough knives to sharpen is certainly a problem of all time, yes. I have one knife in particular that I want to sharpen, and then the other ones... Maybe they could use a bit of sharpening, but I also don't want to I can't say I have too much experience sharpening knives, so I don't want to sharpen all my knives and then have them all be dead. But sharpening just one knife takes about maybe max 10 to 15 minutes. That's not a stream. So I need more. So I suppose one thing I could do is go down to the thrift store and get a few more knives cheap, and then sharpen those. But then I have to figure out what to do with the knives afterwards. Okay, this is probably good. And then now this can go lay on a stack of books for about half an hour. But, you know, it does turn on. Oh, that is warm to the touch. And turns on. Importantly, it's flat. And this side will actually need more adhesive. Yeah, it turns on. And it's functional. Very good. And I will have to I'll have to recalibrate the battery after this and do a cooking stream. That's been mentioned before. I thought about it, but cooking streams require an even more different setup than what I have here, or what I would need for the what do you call it, the knife sharpening stream. Because I think if I were to cook, I do have a portable stovetop, but it's gas powered, and I don't want to be doing gas powered stuff in the apartment if I can help it. So it would have to be cooking in the kitchen, which has some other which has its own other problems. But yeah, cooking streams, maybe if I figure out how to do it and I actually have something to cook. But otherwise, I would say that would probably be the least likely out of the ideas that I have. Wouldn't be anything as fancy as Onigiri does with the blue screen that she uses, because I don't have that big of a setup. But I do that for the automaton instead. So I'll call that take for take. Okay. So yeah, I think this has to go under a pile of books or something. So I think we'll probably end stream there. Next stream, I actually don't have prepped here. I'm gonna go prep that very quickly here, because it is not the Mahjong that was last week. Next week, or tomorrow, is a composition stream. One step back. This one. I think the last time we touched this was about a month and a half ago. Is our latest composition, I think. Yes, latest composition. We're pretty much almost done. I think it's probably going to be this stream, and then some polish afterwards. Maybe it'll leak into the 5th stream, I don't know. But given how far we got to in the 3rd stream and how long these things tend to go for, I think this is probably going to be the last stream for this one. And then I'll just polish it off stream. Which is good because, as I mentioned earlier in the stream today, I have 2 more ideas for compositions, and I would like to work on those, but I can't yet because we have to finish this first. And then there's also Mountain, which I do want to get to again soon-ish. So lots of ideas to go around. After this, I think the composition stream tomorrow is the end of schedule, so just keep an eye out on Discord and social media for any future updates. Okay. I think that's it then. For those of you who are new here, my name is Penbu, the programming, puzzle gaming, and music making VTuber on Linux. Today we repaired this phone to get rid of its I'm not gonna touch this. Gets rid of its, I'm gonna move this window out of the way. Get rid of its spicy pillow. As we do not want that inside the machine where it might cause a fire. I'm gonna have to figure out how to dispose of this later. But yeah, it works. I have to put this under a stack of books now. For those of you who aren't in the Discord, we do have a bunch of channels where you can talk about stuff. This kind of stuff included. I think this goes under general. I don't have a tech channel, although I've been wondering about that because we do talk about computers a lot. I guess it kind of falls under Linux, very loosely. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But this is definitely on topic for any discussion there. I'd probably just put the stuff in general. Okay. For those of you on Twitch, I think I feel okay enough to raid someone, so we're gonna raid someone to stick around. Lego channel by negation. There's a lot of Lego chat there. Yeah. So I think on Twitch, or stick around, we're gonna find somebody to raid. On YouTube, we're just gonna end as usual. Yeah, we'll see you next time. And maybe see you in the Discord. Alright. Thanks for coming, and we'll see you next time. I'm gonna clean this up all afterwards. Is that it? Yes. Alright. See you all. Thanks, and good night. Bye. Actually, YouTube, you might want to stick around after all. I think we are going to go raid CodeLifeCL, which I'm not sure what she's doing up this early, but well, there we go. Give me a minute. I just need the links up here. She's a fellow programmer, and you may remember her from the Tetris teaching session, because she was the one who asked for that one. But yeah, over on YouTube, she is streaming on YouTube, so you can go ahead and go there if you'd like. And she's also streaming on Twitch, which Twitch will raid there very soon. I'm just going to set this up here. I swear... yeah, YouTube should still have that. Manual raid? I think there was a raid manual. Pretend that says manual puzzle raid, and you can do a manual raid over on YouTube if you want. I remember when Twitch raids were manual. Yeah, that's and then they built it in, which is nice. YouTube has them too, but I don't meet the requirements for it yet. I think you need 1,000 followers, and we're only at 150 something. I haven't forgotten about the 100 subscriber special yet, by the way. Still need to... There was stuff that I thought would have been prepped by now, or by then, but still hasn't yet, so gotta wait for that to go. There's an informality to it. Alright. Yeah, we're gonna go raid CodeLifeCL, and he's doing multi-agent systems vision browser agents, AI agents course. So if you're into that kind of stuff, enjoy. And we'll see you there. All right, bye, chat.